So from our seated position, feet just enough active to make the ankles and the knees comfortable. We'll connect to our Ujjayi breath. And feel for being in both shoulders simultaneously. So you're sensing both shoulders. Breathing into both shoulders. And opening up both shoulders, same time. So this might be a little bit of a balancing act. We're steadying our feeling awareness into these places with similitude. So that both shoulders are breathing. Now soften the abdomen so that we can breathe into the guts. As we're breathing into the shoulders, notice we just added one area. There's now a total of 3. And feel how that starts to shift the coloration of the shoulders. We're going to work through some rounds of Uddiyana. So let's place the soles of feet together, Baddha Konasana. Inhale into both shoulders and abdomen. And hold. Hinging forward just slightly. Exhale everything out. Remain empty. Draw the belly in, which is To say, draw from the perineum and the genitals, the pelvic floor. And as you're drawing from the perineum and the genitals and the anus, the pelvic floor, as you're lifting and drawing through what you perceive as the center of your pelvis, start to draw on, draw from both hip sockets. Release the abdomen. When you move upright, inhaling, start to feel your breath reaching both hip sockets, both shoulder sockets, and the abdomen. We've just added 2 more points to our map. So with each inclusion of a new area of the body, our body map just starts to change a little bit. Let's do another. Inhaling into both hip sockets, abdomen, both shoulder sockets. And pause. See if you can be in all 5 places at once. Hinge forward just slightly. And exhale. Everything out. Draw the belly in and back and up. Press the soles of the feet one into the other. Now release when you need a breath. And we'll take just a few more breaths, breathing into both hip sockets, abdomen, both shoulder sockets. Finding out if you can balance or steady your feeling awareness through those little landmarks. Let's keep the feet, the legs in Baddha Konasana. As we move into side bend. Right hand to the ground, inhale. You're drawing the left arm up. Feel for breathing into the left shoulder socket, the left hip socket. Exhaling, side bending to our right. So how would that go for you to spread and feel one's breath in the shoulder and the hip socket? And inhale, come upright. We'll go directly to the other side. Setting left hand down, inhale into the right sockets, shoulder, hip. And exhaling, side bending to the left. Your left. And inhale. Reach right. Elevate. Help the legs together with the hands. And let's lie back. I'm going to take the legs through some of that internal rotation. I think internal rotation, I think people would call that pigeon foot. I think it's a weird, funny little name for it. All right. Inhale, we'll float the head and the shoulder blades up off the ground. And then shifting the tailbone, which puts the top rim of the sacrum more securely in contact with ground. And then exhale, raise the left leg toward the sky. Lift up, reach up through the midfoot, the heel. We're going to take another breath here. Inhale into the back of your sacrum. And now exhale, rotate that leg and reach up, and then just let the recoil. Reach up and recoil, lift and recoil. Reach, pull low belly down. Right, inhale, bend left knee. And curl tailbone, which puts the top rim of sacrum securely in contact with the ground. And then exhale, raise, reach the right leg up. Okay. Reach up through the midfoot, reach up through the heel. So if you're going to touch your ceiling with your foot, your heel would touch first. Or maybe at the same time as the rest of your foot. Inhale. And then exhale, rotate that thing in and reach up and let, and reach up and let. Keep flexing, reach up, heel and midfoot lead, pull low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. Let's do one breath per side. Curl, exhale, reach, turn in, rotate, and let, reach and let, reach. Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tail. Exhale, right leg reach. Flex the foot. Rotate it in, reach. And let, reach. And let, reach and let, reach. Pull low belly down. Inhale. We're going to keep going. We'll do a couple more each side. Curl tail. The shoulders are still up. The head's still up. Exhale, raise, reach the left leg. Rotate it in. And as you're lifting, can you feel just that left side of your sacrum starting to contact the ground and lift away from the ground and contact the ground and lift away from the ground? Pull low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. Curl tail, exhale. Right leg, rotate. As you reach, the right half of the sacrum lifts from the ground, contacts the ground, lifts, and contacts and lifts. Pull low belly down. All right, last one on your own. Be very precise with the tailbone move. It's a precise muscular move. It's a precise bone contact sensation. You're not just momentum swinging your butt in the air. It's a very precise bone, ground, touch. If you don't feel that you have the connection to make that shift in the pelvis over and over again, you have to kind of go steadily with it. I find that particularity to elevate the perception of heat so tremendously. I don't think I can, I think there's something to that particularity. Right. Let's go straddle, lifting through one more. Separate your legs widely, straightening them if that's what the inner legs can do. Inhale the head, shoulders off the ground. And if you're feeling what happens in your back when you raise your head, you'll feel a good amount of contact, bone on ground, bone to ground. Exhale. When you curl the tailbone, feel for that contact. The bones change their relationship to the ground. Reach out through the legs as you draw the low belly down. And we're deepening into this area just above the pubic bone, below the navel. Inhale. Into the hip sockets. So use these moments to feel how you breathe into your pelvis. Exhale. Inhale into pelvis, into hip sockets. Do you breathe into one side more than the other? Can you steady your feeling awareness through both hip sockets? Exhale. And we're going to keep going with these. We'll do a bunch. Let's do 5 more. Great. Once you're through with those, of course, you just let the head down, help the legs together, set the feet down. Okay. Let's turn to a side. We'll press up. We'll be working at the wall a little bit today, so I hope you have some wall space. So when we do shower on the wall, there's a number of ways we can contact the wall. One is with our hand, our palm. Another is with our forearm. So we're going to do the forearm type of setup. Now, the spine will attempt to make parallel with ground, but we'll be setting up one arm at a time. And this allows our other arm to hang down. Okay, so that's the basic gist, the basic setup. I'll let you find that amount of wall space. So for this, you don't necessarily need your mat. If you have really tight shoulders, sometimes the way you'll notice the snugness is the shoulder wants to internally rotate the arm. The arm wants to rotate like we did the legs. That means you'll see the elbow kind of wave out and the thumb dips in toward your middle line. Okay. So if I had like a door jamb or something to just guide my forearm into vertical, I might use that like a corner or some molding or a door frame. But wall is sufficient, and so we'll go with it. So here I've got my left forearm on the wall. I'm letting my right arm hang down. I might be 2 feet, 2.5 feet from the wall. And inhaling into the backs of the shoulders. Exhale, reach both sit bones back away from the wall. Theoretically, you could reach that right arm down, but I'm also just interested today in relaxing, opening the shoulder, allowing the weight of the arm to just that simple, that elegant release. I think it's a valuable skill set to find opening through effort, and then to find opening in our body without effort. So we'll switch sides. So if you had the left forearm on the wall, make it the right forearm now. My weight is evenly distributed through my feet, and I'm reaching both sit bones back. So if you feel like you're skewed or your weight's all shifted more into one side, just adjust. Deeply breathing. So the right shoulders might be stretching or efforting. The left one is opening. And when we release, I'm going to let you know in advance, we'll set up dolphin and we'll be raising one leg up at a time. My preference for today is to be able to use the wall for my leg. So I'm going to set up my dolphin right against the wall. It's an open invitation. All are welcome. Okay, so whether you decide to use a wall or not, it'll be the same pose, just very different feelings. So set both forearms up, or rather down, on the ground. Move the earth with the forearms, inhaling, lift. With your breath, the breath lifts the ribs. And exhale the knees off the ground. I'm going to start with the left side today, bringing the left leg up. I am using the wall today. Okay, lots of ways to use the wall. Some days it is a lessening of the effort of the legs. Today, just kind of touching it and letting the touch of the wall just help to guide, to help me learn about my hips, my legs, my spine. Sometimes we feel these relationships in the body when we're making contact with our environment. Just like sometimes we don't really know that we have I'll speak for me, being rude until we're making contact with a person. You know, something like that. So just the contact helps us know what we're doing on the inside. All right, let's switch sides. We'll go left foot down, right foot up. And we'll set that right foot down, the knees down. Right. You decide if you want a wall or not. We're working standing splits. So standing splits, if I were using the wall, I would have it at my butt side. Inhale, draw the right foot up. Get a hold of it with both hands. And if this is the extent of your splits, that's fine. This is a wonderful, wonderful hip move. And then exhaling, if you're reaching the leg out, here we go. Just out of curiosity, can you still breathe into both hip sockets, though they feel and are doing and performing very different functions? Okay. We'll let the right foot down. We'll trade sides. Inhale, we'll draw the left foot up into both hands. Okay. And we're using both hands, that's the pose. There are different poses where you just let one hand hold the foot. We're doing both hands today. So yeah, they are different poses. Nice. Yeah. And feeling breath occur in both hip sockets. The abdomen, the shoulder sockets. And release, bend knees, set foot down. We'll stand at the top of our mat. Inhale, reaching up through the arms, the ribs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's go right foot back lunge. So we're not doing anything out of too much habit. Hands to ground. Exhale, step the left foot back, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot. Inhale the right foot forward, lunge. Hands to ground. Exhale, left foot forward, fold. Inhale, stand, reach arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're going to repeat this pattern a number of times. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back lunge. Place hands down. Exhale, right foot back, lower, chaturanga. All the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale. There you go, left foot forward. Exhale, fold, stepping forward. Inhale, stand. Exhale, hands to heart. All right. Flying solo. We'll do a bunch more. You don't even need to count. Your pace. Just want you to be able to move at your breath's pace. As we started our practice, we are using a total of 5 landmarks for our feeling awareness, or kind of aggregate around and through. Our shoulder sockets, our abdomen, our pelvic sockets, pelvis, hip sockets. Okay. So maybe as you're going through these suns, maybe a repetition is simply feeling through both hips, same time, or balanced. Maybe another repetition, going through the suns, is feeling the shoulder sockets together, same time. Balancing our feeling awareness through both similarly. They're just here to understand how we're organizing our feeling, our sensing. Maybe there's another round where I'm feeling my abdomen and my hip sockets. Now, something I notice is when I'm cultivating steadiness across space, that often it's a little bit of a back and forth. Some areas feel more heavily gifted with attention, and some others, and it can be there can be a lot of momentum, a lot of movement. Even though my arms are moving, my legs are stepping, I'm going up and down and left and right and this way and that way. Can my feeling awareness be so steadily in and within the hips? So steadily within the shoulders. Finish the round that you're on, and we'll just do one more. There's no rush. There's plenty of time. These suns are just here to help us field test this steadiness, which, right, is moving us toward experiencing stillness. There's no rush. The practice is steadiness. The practice is steadiness lending itself to stillness. All right, wonderful. We'll move through a couple suns, the bees, and then we'll take a pause, and there's some wall stuff. Chair pose. As you inhale, foot bones spread, knees bend, arms lift up. Exhale, fold. Monkey. Inhale. Set the hands down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Warrior one. Inhale, right foot forward. Hands to ground. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Warrior one. Inhale, left foot forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or lightly jump forward, monkey. Exhale, fold. Chair. Inhale, bend knees. And exhaling to stand. Chair. Inhale, bend knees. Exhale, fold. Monkey, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot. Inhale the left forward, warrior one. Hands to ground, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot. Inhale the right foot forward, warrior one. Hands to ground, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or jump forward, monkey. Exhale, fold. Chair, inhale. Stand, exhale, hands to heart. All right. So now we'll work the chest opening with our forearms on the ground. Two ways to do this. If you're kicking up, it looks like a forearm balance, but then we proceed to let the butt, the pelvis, grow nearer to the wall. If you're not doing kicking up, you do the dolphin on the wall version. It looks all the same like dolphin on the wall. Try to use my hands as a model. But we're arching the chest toward the wall. All right. I'll do the first that I described it if you needed the. Okay. You are sliding your pelvis up the wall. If you're kicking up, if your hips make to wall, remember to slide the tailbone. So all those abdominals that we did, here's one of their purposes to help us guide. Direct the pelvis. Okay. That's just enough to remember. Y'all got your. All right. If you don't have enough room in your walls to kick up, that's okay. We can use all the imagination props that we need. We'll show you the second one if. So feeling both hips reach up, both shoulder sockets lightening up. So here's a good case for being able to kind of spread your feeling awareness into all these places at once. Yeah, it's just really pragmatic. Give ourselves about 5 more breaths to conclude. Remember, if you're kicking up, your hands, your knuckles are right next to the wall. Don't smush them, but they're right next to the wall. Find those low abdominals. When we did all those abdominals, shift the tailbone. Here's one of the reasons or the places that we need that exact same action. So to shift the tailbone, the low belly, that particularity, the belly helping shift and shape the pelvis. Here's where it plays. So just that one chest opening or shoulder opening move. It's a big one, but just that one at the wall. Good. And then we'll restart at the top of our mat. Spreading the foot bones, just broadening, widening the surface the contact of foot with earth. If you just take a little bit of time, I'm kind of spreading my toes on the ground, so kind of the Ashtangi's way. So I'm letting all my toe pads touch, but all my toe pads are like spaced apart. What a magnificent ground perception. It just feels interesting and fun. Chair pose. Inhale, bend knees, reach up, getting those mid-back, those upper back bones to move. Exhale, fold. Still working through that low belly, drawing it in. Releasing the neck, the head. Monkey, inhale. Glide the shoulders away from the jaw. Set the hands down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take one additional moment, intentionally spread, move all the hand bones broadly, widely apart. The weight will start to distribute differently, the sensory input is, right? So I just want to just illuminate a little bit that just we change our contact with our environment, even a tiny bit, and how vastly differently we start to perceive our own body and our own experience shape shifts a bit. And broaden the shoulder blades apart. Warrior one, pardon me, easy twisting warrior. Inhale, we'll step the right foot forward. It's a fine foot. Setting the left hand down. I'm going to make my hand bones go really broad again. Exhale, right arm skyward. It's not stuck in vertical. Remember, you can lift and reach back. Opening up through the chest. Okay. So inhale into both shoulder sockets. Finding out if your breath can move, distribute in a balanced way. So you're feeling both shoulders in a balanced And to me, when I'm attending one place more than another, it's almost like there's a weight differential. It's almost like there's a different luminosity. There's a luminosity differential, a weight differential. Almost, you might feel it like a weight or a brightness. Now, as you're inhaling into both shoulder sockets, as you're exhaling, reach that right arm, right chest back until you go, oh, that abdomen. Start to breathe into the abdomen and the shoulder and the shoulder. It's three distant, broadly placed points. Shoulder, shoulder, abdomen. There you go. Inhale, bring the right hand down to the ground. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Shoulder, shoulder, abdomen. The shoulders moving away from the abdomen. Exhale, downward dog. Same one move, other side. Inhale the left foot forward. Easy, twisting warrior. When the right hand contacts the ground, just open up those hand bones. It's a little extra spreading. Reach that left arm into the sky. I feel breath reaching, entering, emanating from both shoulder sockets. There you go. Yeah. Yes. And you're right. We do part work. We'll often take occasions to feel, to focus one area at a time. This is a different practice. And it's helpful to feel our parts in order to feel the whole. Okay, taking a couple more breaths, add in that abdominal point. So we're breathing into shoulder, shoulder, abdomen. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So we're using the parts to take us to wholeness. We're using the steadiness to take us towards stillness. In the direction of wholeness, we feel less and less partitioned. In the direction of stillness, we feel less and less moved, rushed, hurried, more timeless. Inhale, we'll bring that left arm down to the ground. Exhale, chaturanga. End of day. Inhale, upward dog. We're playing with time and space. Exhaling, downward dog. All right. Reverse warrior. Inhale, step the right foot between hands. Drawing the arms out to the side. Exhale, we'll go left hand to leg, raise the right arm up. Lifting, reaching. Yeah. Now, how is it to breathe into the shoulder, into the hip, to experience both same time? So balancing our feeling awareness through the right shoulder, right flank, right hip. I'll give you a moment. Okay, we're going to do an extended warrior variation. Inhale, bring the right arm to the right. We're going to bring a forearm to thigh. Now, our footing is, I want you to make that footing so with your left toes turned in and sufficiently deepened, or what do you call this, the feet apart. I want you to be able to press or reach through that left heel until you feel your buttock muscles get involved. The tailbone can shift. Now here's the variation part. We'll raise that left arm overhead. So my left arm, my left side, my left leg. Kind of lengthening through that whole left side. Inhale, bring the left hand by the left hip. The right armpit next to the thigh as we move toward interlock. Exhale, right arm under right thigh. Keep working those buttock muscles as you're connecting the hands. So just a note, as you're moving into that, really, it's a deep spiral of the trunk. I'll notice many individuals will just let the butt, the pelvis, the ground connection, we'll just let it go, and then we'll do all sorts of hula hooping through our low back to make the hands connect. And I'm suggesting we can go there, keeping that glute and the tailbone has a direction. I haven't let that left butt go. To me, this feels very, very different through the ribs and chest. So if you don't usually get a spiraling stretch tissue feeling through the upper ribs, that might be a place we can investigate. Release, pigeon. Inhale, set the hands down, the left knee down. Exhaling, walk the right shin and knee down. Keep the breath deep as you're moving into pigeon. There's a tendency to thin out. Allow the back of the brain to relax structurally. Imagine there's a pressure valve. And just you're lifting, opening that little pressure valve at the back of the brain, back of the skull, and you can almost feel the whole system pressure just lighten its load by releasing that pressure valve. The Atlas C1, those upper spine skull juncture. Inhale, bring hands under shoulders. Exhale, downward dog. With relaxed neck, keep that pressure valve. There you go. All right. Reverse warrior. Inhale the left foot forward. Placing the right hand on the right leg. Raising the left arm. Reverse warrior. Yep, there you go. So breathing into the left shoulder, into the left hip, finding out if we can balance, feel, distribute feeling awareness through that entire left side. So you're really tracking with breath. You're tracking with just that sensory, that sense of, oh, hip, side, flank, rib, armpit. Extended variation. Inhale, bring the left arm up. We're placing the left forearm on our thigh. We may need to adjust our stance. Generally, I think most of us could. So can't see all your feet and knees, but generally I would think we could all turn our right toes in a little bit more and also open or widen apart our stance, our feet. And then feel if that helps you involve the right butt cheek or direct the tailbone. You feel that? The tailbone has a direction, and then we'll draw the right arm up, overhead. Okay, keep pressing through that left forearm, staying light through the bottom shoulder. Okay, now keeping active that tailbone direction toward the right heel, keeping active those butt muscles which are shifting the pelvis. Just that abdominal move. Keep that, maintain that. As you inhale, the right hand beside the right hip, the left armpit next to the thigh. Keep the butt working, keep the tailbone reaching. Don't give them up. They're so helpful as we move into interlock. Keep that butt muscle working. Keep directing that tailbone. Might feel different in the shoulders, in the upper back. And release. Pigeon. Inhale, set hands down, right knee down. Exhale, walk the left leg down. Inhale, walk hands under shoulders. Exhaling, downward dog. All right. So we're going to complete the sun. It was a sun at one time. Inhale, step or lightly jump feet forward, monkey. Exhale with the feet active, fold, drawing those belly muscles, relaxing the neck. And then chair, inhale, bending knees, reaching the tailbone down. Mass of pelvis sinking down. Exhale, stand, hands to heart. All right. So a couple of things. You can choose either or. Just choose one though. We'll use the wall. So it appeared to me that you all had some wall space for your foot to go up. So we'll just keep riding on that presumption. I'm going to show you two things that involve a straight leg, a bent leg, and the hands down on the ground. One of them is more of a handstand. I think it's insect on a windshield. Don't quote me on that. But that is, I'm kind of walking myself back into, we'll say like a handstand by way of vertical splits before deciding if one pikes or, we'll say pigeons, bends the knee. Okay. Now, some of you may have done that recently, so here's another option. The other option is to create much more of an ekapada shape. Okay, so I'm going to leave my right leg much closer to my hands. I'm going to move out a little bit. As I continue to work and reach my left leg up the wall. So I'm using the wall again to kind of encode for much, much, much more robust pressing through the arms, the shoulders. Either one's perfect. Each one has one straight leg up the wall and one bent leg. Each one has our hands on the ground. That may be a deciding factor. The idea, especially with the ladder, is not to just put a saggy leg up on the wall like, I got my foot there, sag. The idea is to use the environment to touch, to inform, to help create a much more robust pressure. So that might be a little close or rather far. Okay. So either way that we go, there's going to be some nice working tension in the system. If something feels saggy or heavy, that's because we need to change our setup. That's all. All right, have fun. I'm going to watch as best as I can. If you're doing the ekapada, just put that shin next to the armpit. Make sure the palms are all the way on the ground. Somewhere, someone is tickling the ground with their fingertips. That won't do it. Both of these are intended to get us very close to handstand-esque weight bearing. These are both weight-bearing moves. And make sure you try both sides. You may just take a break. You can be as far from or as near to the wall as you like. You can be as gradual as you want. I'm going to encourage steadiness, steadiness of breath, steadiness sensation. So when you go into a spot, just plan to be there for 6 breaths. Don't get too squirrely. Yeah, once we get there, it's like sometimes we just have to stop moving and start feeling. So I imagine that we're probably finishing up the second side. We'll have a seat and straddle. And starting with the wrists. Inhale, move the palms out to beside you. And if you flex, sometimes just the flex itself starts the stretch going. Exhaling, reach out through the little finger, the ring, the middle of the index, the thumb. Draw the knuckles down. Now everyone's fluids and blood flows a little differently, but I'm feeling just as I do these moves, how much more fluid has started to circulate to my periphery and my hands. Maybe you feel the same thing. So as I'm moving and articulating these fingers for a wrist stretch, how would I move them to facilitate that venous blood flow return? Because I know it's a lot different than trying to, get the periphery of the body felt and active and contacting. How would I start to use my periphery to bring my blood back home? Yeah. Once you've gone through the hands a few times, we'll fold forward. So straddle with fold. And we'll come back up. Let's help our legs together and lie back for Shavasana. We'll simply lie back You feel at rest. And of course, our aim isn't to stultify or hamper or dampen our movements, but to simply experience the kinetic quietude of our body in Shavasana. Which may highlight the great amounts of subtle body movement. Sometimes when energy moves through the body, it can feel like just fluidity, just little rivulets or streams of seeming movement, interior. Ah, sweetie. Ah. As we keep following and feeling the fluidity of the body. If we go deeper, if we go under, again, we'll start to feel that great, great stillness. This is different than the kinetic or the not movingness of the physical posture Shavasana. Let the breath grow fine, very, very fine, so that it can enter both hip sockets. Let your breath grow very fine so you can enter into both shoulder sockets. And our discovery of stillness today might just be the reduction or the calming of random movement. It might be a simple lessening of the fluctuating mind. We're just using the qualities that I'm naming just to give us a little bit of that taste, that insight, that taste of consciousness. How do we know it directly? We're just using some qualities to guide us. When you're ready, notice the stillness, the quietude. It doesn't get rocked. It doesn't disappear when we bend our knees. When we turn to a side. And when we press up to seated. Namaste.